August 3rd, 1892 passed like any other day in the Borden household. Abby Borden tidied the house for company, while Andrew Borden managed his successful furniture and casket company. All was well. August 4th, 1892 passed like no other day in the Borden household. News of the murders of Andrew and Abby Borden spread like wildfire around the small town of Fall River, Massachusetts, and soon after, the whole country. People were lost for words when it came to the incident. Two small-town residents were brutally murdered in their own homes? Why would someone do this? Who would do this? The prime suspect of the murders was actually Andrew and Abby's own daughter, Lizzie Borden. This just caused more questions. Why would Lizzie Borden do this to her own parents? Was there motive? Was it even really her? To answer these questions, you need to go back to the earlier years of the Borden household. In the beginning, the Borden family was very happy. Andrew was married to his first wife, Sarah, and he had two daughters, young Lizzie and older Emma, and owned some large estates. Unfortunately, Sarah Morse died from unknown causes in 1863, leaving 3-year-old Lizzie Borden and 12-year-old Emma Borden without a mother. 3 years passed by, and in 1866, Andrew Borden remarried to 37-year-old Abby Gray. Some people believe that this was the beginning of the end. Growing up, Lizzie wasn't very fond of Abby. She believed that the only reason her stepmom had married her father was a way to inherit his estate and fortune. Around 1887, Lizzie Borden stopped referring to Abby Gray as mom and started calling her Miss Borden. This was one of the final tears in their relationship. Growing up, Lizzie Borden was no stranger to crime. She was commonly caught shoplifting in downtown Massachusetts. There was another incident on June 24th, 1891, when a robbery occurred at the Borden residence. All eyes immediately turned to Lizzie Borden. This did nothing to heal the family's relationship that was slowly rubbing away. Leading up to the day of the murder, tensions had been rising in the Borden household. Andrew Borden had recently presented Abby Gray's sister with a house all for herself. This did not please Lizzie nor Emma. They demanded that Andrew present them with a house of their own, which they would later sell back for $5,000. Fast forward several months to August, Andrew and Abby's last days. On August 2nd, 2 days before the murder, Andrew and Abby are noted for having stomach aches. Abby is skeptical of someone poisoning them due to Andrew's many enemies, but the incident is waved off as being food poisoning. August 3rd, Lizzie Borden is found trying to purchase poison from D.R. Smith's drugstore. August 4th, 1892, a Thursday. Andrew and Abby started the day like any other, completely unaware of what the day had in store for them. At 7 a.m., Andrew and John are in the sitting room, while Abby takes care of some household chores. At 8:45, Andrew goes out to mail some letters for Lizzie. At 9:30 a.m., Abby goes to the second floor to continue her house cleaning. Seemingly all alone in the house, Abby has no feeling of fear or danger. Within the next hour that Abby spent upstairs, she is killed in the guest room from 19 hatchet blows to the back of her head. 11 a.m., Andrew returns home from his visit to the post office and comes across Lizzie, who tells him that Abby has left the house to run an errand. Andrew believes the tale and settles down in the sitting room. Shortly after settling down, Andrew Borden is killed from 11 blows from an axe. By 11:15, the police are notified of the incident. News of the Borden murder spread like wildfire. Dozens of articles headlined with the recent double homicide, shocking people all across America and intriguing thousands. Despite little knowledge on how it happened, when it happened, or who did it, all the newspapers seemed to be leaning towards a similar suspicious character: Lizzie Borden. Something about Lizzie Borden's defense and history with her parents just wasn't adding up. She was outside looking for irons and didn't hear her mom and dad get brutally murdered? How did she not even know her mom was home? What really happened that morbid August 4th? And 4 days after the incident, Lizzie Borden was found burning a blue dress that she owned. She claimed paint was on it. Suspicions were spread that it was actually covered with the blood of her dead parents. Those hunches were never able to be further investigated. Police had seen enough. On August 11th, 1892, Lizzie Borden was arrested by Marshal Hilliard under the double homicide of her parents. At the preliminary hearing, the judge claims that Lizzie is definitely a possible choice for being the murderer of Andrew and Abby Borden. Despite these claims, Lizzie pleads not guilty. Even with all of the evidence building against Lizzie Borden throughout the course of the trial, one piece came up that changed the tide of the jury. Lizzie Borden's neighbor, Alice Russell, offered an account proving Lizzie Borden not guilty. The day before the murders, Lizzie Borden had apparently went over to Alice's house for a chat. While there, she'd informed Alice that she was worried about her father's well-being, and that she'd spotted some suspicious characters creeping around her father's house. Although the trial ensues for several months after this piece of evidence, on July 20th, it's confirmed that Lizzie Borden is not guilty. To this day, it still cannot be confirmed who actually murdered Andrew and Abby Borden, whether Lizzie did or didn't have some involvement, or if it was some other unnamed criminal. The incident is still a hot topic of debate, and has branched out into dance routines, a TV show, and was even featured in an Alfred Hitchcock film that actually depicted Emma as being the murderer. Even though we may never know what really happened in the Borden household that day, the mysterious aspects of the case will for sure make the incident a never-ending maze for curious minds to explore.